On this vote, the yeas are 196, the nays are 223. The resolution is not adopted.
Hey, everybody, it's Eri from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and that just occurred on the House floor in the intro as the lawmakers voted 196 to 223 against moving ahead with voting on 3 bills. Well, this procedural vote, which would have cleared the way to pass the cryptocurrency legislation, it failed, but don't worry, they're going to try again at 5 p.m. today, Eastern Standard Time. And they have to talk into moving on the other side of that vote 12 Republicans who said no because they want the bill to be in one product. We have an interesting photograph coming from the Ripple headquarters in San Francisco. And look how many people have joined. These are all specialists in technology. And it's just not sitting at the table. But if you look on the back screen there, you can see that they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other people joining virtually. And these people all who have gathered are trying to figure out how to use this transformative technology the best they can on behalf of Californians and beyond. This occurred on July 6th, and it is a photo credit from the governor's office. With that photo came out this announcement on the 15th of July, and you can see that they are advancing towards the government being effective and more efficient with this new executive order that was put through, launching a task force, which is going to be with these tech industry leaders, including the people at Ripple. The two particularly mentioned is Ashish Birla, and he is now an angel investor. And then we've got Chris Larson, the current executive chair at Ripple. If you watch the All In podcast, which I know some people love it, some people hate it, but I happen to be one that I enjoy it. I always am learning a few things when I watch it. And they took 3 years to make this product, which is their Besties All In tequila brand. It's the rarest tequila that they have ever produced. There's only 7,500 bottles, and it really is just absolutely gorgeous the way they have presented it in this beautiful glass bottle. There's a funny story to this, and that is they delivered one to the Coinbase headquarters, and it was a gift, and it didn't quite get through their screening for mail. As you can see, it looked pretty scary. Well, when you come to Japan, you're not going to be able to find a lot of that kind of beverage, but there is an association that produces ambassadors who promote sake, and they do it domestically and internationally. And each one of these gals goes through a 3-month training where they learn about the traditional craft, and eventually they go out and speak and educate in 36 cities and 18 countries. Yeah, what started in the 5th century has really become such an important part of the culture now, and Japan has around 1,400 makers, and I think you should check to see if they're coming to your city anytime soon. In my last video, I hope that you paid attention towards the end when we talked about this narrative that's being crafted for the retail investor in regards to ETH. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I'm sure you will, because this big mind share narrative and storytelling for Ethereum has really begun. Fundstrat, Joe Lubin, Sam Tabor, now Eric Jackson, who pinned a post that he is banging drums. Yes, his drum is banging big for Ethereum, as the Cointelegraph reports here that the founder of this EMJ Capital says that with the approved staking of Ethereum, these ETFs are really going to kick off and have a huge impact on Ethereum's price, more than 100-fold, he says, eventually hitting 1.5 million per token. Wow. So I think you're going to see this, you're going to see a lot of this kind of talk. And just know that in yesterday's video, I did stress that they understand that most people don't understand the technology. And therefore, they put a lot of crazy narratives out there, just kind of betting that you're going to go on the speculation of this kind of narrative instead of maybe focusing on what the technology is really capable of doing. So just be aware, and it just gives another reason why you need to do your research and you need to understand the technology. And talk about understanding technology, I don't think Jamie Dimon of JPMorgan understands the stablecoin technology. In today's JPMorgan Chase earnings call, which has the transcripts out there for everyone to read, he was asked a question about what JPMorgan is doing with a stablecoin. Yes, they are going to explore it, but he said, we don't know exactly, and I think they're real, but I don't know why you'd want a stablecoin as opposed to just a payment. Well, I just can only shake my head and wonder, is he really just talking some book, or is this the truth? It's just, I don't know. I just can't imagine. I mean, the advantages of digitizing the dollar to be able to send it in a fast, inexpensive way on these layer twos and settle so quick and just, well, I think the biggest problem is it eliminates a lot of banking functionality. And so I think they are trying to figure out a way to stay relevant, participate, and not be left behind. And speaking of stablecoins, I found a little nugget that I don't think anyone else had found, but today, the AI-powered decentralized social platform, which is called Imogen. Yeah. So it's going to take on the RLUSD stablecoin by Ripple in their new modular payment infrastructure. And what I found interesting is, look, they are going to be cross-chain in their architecture. So this RLUSD is going to work across Ethereum, the BNB chain, which is Binance, and Solana. So the RLUSD integration, it is quoted as saying, can interact smoothly and regardless of what network or location. So that's really, wow. The world of cross-chain integration, the interoperability, it's here. And here's a company that I covered extensively in 2023, and they made an announcement that their new collaboration with Ripple is going to be a real disruptor. They have one of only 2 licenses that were put out in Europe, and it allows them to have this infrastructure that's been built on a permissioned fork. They fork the code of the XRP ledger, and it'll provide them digital issuance, trading, and settlement. This is all about tokenization. So congratulations to Axiology and SuperHow. And if you know Anthony Welfare, who was an advisor for the company Ripple for a while, this is where he landed. Now, I know there's a little bit of a pullback in the market, but it's a healthy pullback. You just don't want to completely go parabolic for a long period of time, because those kinds of pullbacks after long parabolic runs are very painful. I can handle the 2, 3, 4, 5% retracements, but when it goes on for days, and if sometimes more than weeks, those pullbacks are brutal. So yeah, I like a little bit of a breather, but we still have risk on sentiment. The global liquidity is expanding by the US 6.7 trillion in Q2. So This comes from the Cross-Border Capital. I think it's one of the best liquidity trackers in all of the space. He says that crypto is amply supported right now by this expansion. And keep a close eye on the US dollar value and the People's Bank of China policy moves. So we'll do that for sure. And at the time of this recording, with BTC just sitting at 116,545, you can see that in the top 20 by market cap, SUI is still going ahead. It is just looking so strong. Sitting right now 3.2% up on the 24-hour, 396. It had topped $4, and wow, I think it's just going to be one of the best performing assets in this run. I'm very excited for that. So yeah, we just have to be patient because we're going to see a little bit of a roller coaster in movement as we crawl up and as we get closer to some of those price points that are being predicted out there for Bitcoin. So let's hope for the best on the Genius Act and those other two bills today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.